The vice president's team is not holding any press briefings. You are left to answer everything for her, even though you are not the vice president's press secretary. Is that getting old?
No. Let me tell you something. I'm the White House press secretary, as you all know, obviously, for the president, for this administration, for the Biden-Harris administration. It is an honor and a privilege. As it relates to the vice president, she certainly has been on the road. She has taken questions from some of you in doing her gaggles. You have seen her. That is something, as anything specific about interview, you certainly would have to reach out to her campaign. But I am proud to be standing here at this podium behind this lectern on behalf of the Biden-Harris administration.
Kamala, come out wherever you are. We promise we just want to chat. Truly, we, the media, need to talk to you because it's been 24 days and counting. And she still has not had a press conference or done an interview since becoming the nominee.
It's gotten to the point where the Babylon Bee doesn't even need to come up with jokes to make their headlines funny. CEO of the Babylon Bee, Seth Dillon, joins us now. Seth, good to see you. I mean, again, I love the Babylon Bee. Love what you guys do. You're hilarious. But I got to tell you, I read normal headlines, and I'm not sure if it's the Babylon Bee or real, because you've had this cross-section of reality and parody meet in today's politics and media.
Yeah, it was G.K. Chesterton who said back in 1911 that the world has become too absurd to be satirized. But imagine if he was alive today, what he would say. That is really the challenge of doing satire, is you have to exaggerate what's going on in the world. And when it's this crazy, the world's a parody of itself. It's hard to go a step further than that and caricature it, because it is a caricature. So sometimes you see headlines like the one you just had up on the screen, where we just literally report what happened in a way that really illustrates how silly and absurd it is on its own without exaggerating it at all.
We've gone as far as, Seth, I don't know if you've got a return feed and can see me, but I just do this to this is my image for, it's the emoji of the like hug me emoji. It's like, this is the image of the Kamala Harris campaign. Joy. I want to shift gears to this, though, because this is actually frightening and serious. The gold medal winning boxer who failed a gender test, and the gender caused a stir just around the entire world, because she did fail a gender test from the International Boxing Association, is now taking legal action in France, filing a criminal complaint. This is according to Variety. Variety reporting the boxer going after J.K. Rowling, Elon Musk, and others, accusing them of cyber harassment. France is going to perform an investigation of this. I would call this criminalizing truth.
Yes. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. I mean, it started out where it was a violation of terms of service on social media. You know, this is where we faced a lot of penalties for this. We were suspended for misgendering somebody. But they want to go beyond that. It's not just a policy violation that can result in suspension. They actually want to punish and penalize you in the court of law and bring criminal charges against you for saying things that are true. I mean, a cheek swab could clear this up, right? Prove that you're actually a woman. And then you'll put to rest the critics who are saying that this is a male boxer that's dominating women's sports. I really don't see what the crime is in acknowledging what we can all see with our eyes and what we all know is actually happening. If you criminalize the truth, how can you ever have a debate about anything? You know, you'd shut down debate. And that's really, I think, the point of this, is to safeguard these ideas, safeguard these narratives by punishing and penalizing anyone who challenges them. And it just conveys to me extreme insecurity and fragility in your viewpoints if you have to go to those lengths to try to stop people from challenging you.
You know, here in the U.S., this would be civil litigation where truth would be a defense, to your point. Just do a swab and we could get to the truth of whether what Elon Musk or J.K. Rowling is saying is it true or false. But the fact that we're going to through the criminal process to say we want to put people behind bars because they're having an active conversation on this topic.
You talk about absurdity. First of all, the fact that there are male athletes in women's sports today is crazy enough on its own. But the fact that you can't even call it out and it's criminal just goes so far beyond that. I mean, again, the world has become too absurd to be satirized.
I just want to point out that there is the World Court of Arbitration for Sport. And when the International Boxing Association made these determinations on the gender of the two boxers, the one from Taiwan and this also gold medal winner, they could have appealed that decision. And they chose to not appeal that decision. And they withdrew the appeals, well, this boxer did, from the arbitration panel, because that panel of arbitration would have asked for another gender verification test. So there you have it. There was a competition in women's boxing in the Olympics, and we'll never, well, maybe we'll know, because maybe the French will demand a cheek swab.
We're outraged about the wrong things. What we should be outraged about is the fact that women and girls are missing out on opportunities. They're training their whole lives. They're playing in sports where it should be a level playing field, fair competition, and they're being robbed of that. They're being cheated of that, and that's deserving of outrage. It's even deserving of mockery. It certainly shouldn't be criminalized.
I can do you one better. This symbol, which women are doing, was told to me that this is bullying. XX is bullying.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
No, that's standing up to the bullies.
Women
Standing up to the
bullying
bullies.
men.
Yeah. Thank you,
Seth.
Seth.
Dillon, thank you. Very grateful.
Thank you.
Very funny. Don't you give me that X. Don't bully me.